My daughter has an imaginary boyfriend. He says they're getting married when she turns 8. The problem is he's not imaginary. I'm just a regular guy, not into spirits, ghosts, or anything like that. But what started as my daughter's innocent imagination turned into the most terrifying experience of my life. Never used to believe in anything beyond what I could see. I'm not religious, not spiritual, not even superstitious. I fix roofs for a living, drink my coffee black, and fall asleep to old war documentaries on the couch. Simple man, simple life. That changed when my daughter started talking about her boyfriend, her imaginary boyfriend. Her name is Lily. She's 7 years old, blonde hair, soft eyes, loves jelly sandwiches with the crusts cut off. He's the kind of kid who leaves notes in my lunchbox that say, "I love you, Dad," with little doodles of stick figures and smiling suns. Our mother died when she was 4. Car accident. I was the one who had to tell her. I remember holding her while she cried, saying over and over, "It's okay, Daddy, I still have you." Oh yeah, it's just been us two since then, and we've made it work. Until about a month ago, that's when she told me about Peter. Was washing dishes after dinner. She sat at the table, swinging her legs, humming something tuneless. "Daddy," she asked. "Yes, sweetie." "Do you want to meet my boyfriend?" I chuckled. "Your boyfriend? Aren't you a little young for that?" She giggled. "He says age doesn't matter." Hat gave me pause. "Who's he?" "Peter," she said, like I was dumb for not knowing. "He's nice. He plays games with me in my room, and he says he's going to marry me when I turn 8. Dried my hands and knelt next to her. "You know imaginary friends aren't real, right?" She frowned. "He is real. He just doesn't like when grown-ups see him." Hat night. I checked her room before bed, looked under the bed, in the closet. Usual parent stuff, nothing there. Just a few dolls, some drawings, and her nightlight glowing purple. I kissed her goodnight. As I closed the door, I thought I heard whispering. That's when she told me about Peter. I was washing dishes after dinner. She sat at the table, swinging her legs, humming something tuneless. "Daddy?" she asked. "Yeah, sweetie." "Do you want to meet my boyfriend?" I chuckled. "Your boyfriend? Aren't you a little young for that?" She giggled. "He says age doesn't matter." Hat gave me pause. "Who's he?" "Peter," she said, like I was dumb for not knowing. "He's nice. He plays games with me in my room, and he says he's going to marry me when I turn 8. I dried my hands and knelt next to her. "You know imaginary friends aren't real, right?" She frowned. "He is real. He just doesn't like when grown-ups see him." That night, I checked her room before bed, looked under the bed, in the closet, usual parent stuff, nothing there, just a few dolls, some drawings, and her nightlight glowing purple. I kissed her goodnight. As I closed the door, I thought I heard whispering. I figured it was her playing pretend, but then things started to get strange. I'd wake up and find her bedroom door wide open, lights on, stuff moved around. I once found all her dolls piled in the bathtub, their heads turned toward the door like they were waiting for someone. I asked her about it. "Peter likes to redecorate," she said. Another night, I heard music playing softly from her room. I opened the door. It was one of those creepy music box lullabies, but we don't own a music box. She was sitting cross-legged on the floor, staring at the corner, smiling. There was nothing there. I asked her who she was looking at. She said, "Peter's showing me what he looks like." Asked her to describe him. She said, "He's really tall, like taller than the ceiling, but he bends down to talk to me." That didn't sit right. LNS LSWT. Have you ever known a child with an imaginary friend? Did anything ever feel wrong? Tell us in the comments. The drawings were next. It started with one taped to the fridge. Innocent enough, crayons, blue sky, green grass, stick figures. At first glance, I thought nothing of it. Lily always drew her and her mom, or her with a princess crown or holding balloons, but this one was different. In the middle stood a small figure, clearly Lily, wearing her favorite yellow dress, the one with the bunny on it. She was holding hands with something tall, much taller than the trees behind them. The figure was black, not colored black, pressed black, like she had pressed the crayon so hard the paper had torn in places. It had no face, no arms, just long, stretching fingers reaching from where the hand should be. And its head, a tall, oblong oval with slashes where eyes shouldn't be. There were no clouds in the sky, no sun, just red streaks hanging from above, like bleeding rain. I called her over. "Sweetie, who's this?" She smiled proudly. "That's me and Peter. We're playing outside." I tried to keep my voice even. "And the red lines? Those are sky scratches. Peter said they happen when he's happy." I found more over the next few days, in her backpack, under her pillow, one taped inside her closet, each one worse than the last. Peter standing in her doorway, impossibly thin, with arms that reached the floor. Peter curled up at the foot of her bed with a mouth stretching across his entire chest. Peter floating outside my window, staring in. But the one that shook me the most, she drew my room. And it was exact, down to the crooked lamp on my nightstand and the crack on the ceiling. In the picture, I was asleep, and standing over me was Peter, his hand inches from my face, his head tilted unnaturally far to the left, and in the top corner, written in her uneven handwriting, "Peter says he likes you." What would you do if your child showed you a drawing like this? That night at dinner, I asked her gently, "Lily, why did you draw that one of me sleeping?" She didn't even look up from her mashed potatoes. "He told me to." I felt cold, like something just walked across my grave. That night, I couldn't sleep. Every creak of the house made me twitch. I left the hallway light on like I was the kid now. At 3:12 a.m., I woke with a start. No dream, just woke, like something whispered in my ear. The air felt off, stale. I sat up. The bedroom door was wide open. I never sleep with it open. I stared at the doorway, heart hammering. Darkness seemed thicker out there. Not just absence of light, but something watching. And faintly, just barely, I thought I saw something long and tall slip out of view, as if it had been standing there a second before. I tried to be rational. I even considered taking her to a child psychologist. But then she stopped eating, stopped playing, just sat in her room mumbling. I started recording her at night, set up an old baby monitor with motion detection. I didn't expect to catch anything. I wanted proof nothing was happening. I wish I hadn't looked. At 2:44 a.m., her door opened by itself. No wind, no creaks. It opened. Then, slowly, her blanket slid off the bed. Would you keep watching the camera or turn it off and pretend nothing's wrong? She didn't wake up. Something moved by the foot of her bed, not quite visible, just shadows distorting. The camera glitched, just once. When it came back, the room was empty. So was her bed. I ran to her room in a panic, but she was there, curled up in the corner, eyes wide open, whispering, "He took me to the inside-out place." I couldn't get her to explain. She just kept saying the same thing. "Peter has a place. It's quiet there. No skin, no sound, no time." I told her Peter had to go. She started screaming, said if I made him leave, he'd get angry. She told me he doesn't like when people say he's not real. That's when he gets messy. I started burning the drawings, threw away the nightlight, put salt at her window, like some old superstition. I was desperate. That night I heard Lily talking again. I stood outside her door, listened. Her voice was shaky. "No, please don't make me, please. I'll be good. Don't hurt Daddy." I threw the door open. No one was there but her. She looked at me with tear-streaked cheeks. "He doesn't like you anymore." The final straw came 3 nights ago. I was asleep on the couch. I woke to the sound of humming. Lily's voice. "Would you burn the drawings, or would you keep them to understand what's happening?" But I think Peter's real, and I think he's older than anything we understand. I don't know what he is. But I know this. When Lily turns 8, she says they're getting married. No voice ambient music fades in slowly. Do you think Peter is a spirit, a demon, or something else entirely?